It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That's Thin Lizzy with Black Rose, and this is Neely rocking with your Classic Metal Show along with my very good friend Chris Aiken. What's going on, Chris?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Well, aside from the the springtime allergies, I'm well.
Yeah, wishing you were not sniffling and outside doing something else, right?
Yeah, right. With the nose running and just drip, 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 drip all day long. I'm telling you, it's just a full-time job just keeping the nose in check.
Why don't you just get some of those nose drops and just deal with this?
I do, but nothing works.
Really? The nose drops don't cover it?
I use the nose drops. I use the Claritin D. I use the nasal strips, everything, and it's just a losing battle.
Well, then you're just going to have to sound like you have a cold for the next 6 months.
You're right. Absolutely. Well, tonight, dude, we got a good show for everybody. Not that we don't offer one every week, but we've got some good guests tonight.
We do have some decent guests tonight. Not bad.
Yeah. So tonight here on the Classic Metal Show, we've got Marco Mendoza, who's, I tell you what, that guy is into everything, and he currently is in a new old band, I guess, that channels the spirit of Thin Lizzy with Black Star Riders.
Now, have you listened to the album at all?
I just got it. You just sent it over, and I haven't had a chance to really peruse it yet.
It's pretty solid, man. I mean, you know what? We have this battle all the time about when is a band still a band. And, I guess it depends on how you take it, but this sure does sound like classic Thin Lizzy. They would not have been embarrassing the name if they would have called it Thin Lizzy. But bravo to them for not.
Sure.
You know?
Well, they kind of stepped out and decided that they weren't going to, I don't know, what do you want to call it, take a gamble and tarnish the Thin Lizzy legacy by doing something that maybe fans may not have found that great?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, but it's you'll have to hear the whole record to really get a feel for it. But I can't imagine, other than the real purists that only want Phil as the vocalist, I can't imagine that people would listen to it and think, oh man, they're just ripping off the name. Like when Sykes was in there as the vocalist, even though he had past history with the band, I could see where fans might have thought that if they would have recorded a new record with Sykes, because he didn't really sound like Phil. But man, Ricky Warwick, he really brings it home, man. He is very good at it.
Sure. Isn't it? Do you find that odd or interesting that so many of these classic bands, be it Journey or Judas Priest, which kind of started it off, or Foreigner or Thin Lizzy, they can find a guy out there, or even the Todd La Torre version of Queensryche, they can find a guy that can almost be the guy.
Sure. It seems like well, you know what, man? Anytime there's a popular sound, there's going to be somebody that tries to copy it.
Sure.
So there's always going to be guys, doing every tribute under the sun. So I guess it's not odd. It's odd that they can find guys that do it well enough to actually take out and record professionally and do, full-on big arena concert tours.
Right. Well, speaking of vocalists, another vocalist who will be a guest here on the show tonight is probably one of my favorite vocalists from, one of my favorite 80s bands is Tom Kiefer from Cinderella.
Yeah, Tom has a brand new record out, and he's out there promoting it, and he's touring and doing his thing solo, man. So it's an interesting time for him. I think this will be the first time ever that we've talked to him without a, Cinderella reference, isn't it?
Sure, absolutely. In fact, as many times as I've, hung out with the band Cinderella, I got to be honest with you, I don't know that we've ever had Tom on the show before.
Really? Never?
I don't think so.
Huh. Okay. I'm surprised by that.
I was sitting there today just thinking back. Have I ever had Tom Kiefer on the show before? And the answer is no. The only time that I've had any dealing with Tom was face-to-face.
Who have we had? We've had Curry.
Yeah, Curry's been on the show a couple of times, actually.
And hasn't Jeff LaBar been on it?
Jeff LaBar's been on a couple times when they were doing the whole naked beggar thing.
Right, that's right. So, yeah, we've had a couple of them. That's surprising that Tom Kiefer never has. He's probably protecting his voice all those other tours.
Probably. So, anyway, two what do you want to call veteran musicians tonight with Marco Mendoza and Tom Kiefer.
A lot of talent, man.
Two guys that I genuinely like as people.
Sure.
So I'm kind of excited to have both of them on the show tonight.
Yeah, it should be good, dude. Well, you know what I was doing prior to the show?
I know you said you were out hanging with some friends or something, and you had to hurry back to make the show on time because you just got this jam-packed social life.
Well, no, this was actually not social. That was actually work with our friend Billy Morris and his fiance Leah. I was actually working on his fiance's website, but I got back a little bit early and I checked the Facebook to see what was going on, and I was clued into, and we're not going to actually play this tonight, but I figured I would share just a little bit of it.
Okay.
Apparently, we, and by we, I think I, for a change, am just taking flack because of you.
Okay.
We have made an enemy.
With who?
Michael Butler.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
He's very not happy about the Tim James thing and the making light of him interviewing his voicemail and whatnot.
And how is that reflective of just me?
Well, it's both of us, but everything that he picked at was stuff that you said, and I didn't seem to take a whole lot of flack in the over 50 minutes of of beating us up.
Oh, really? Well, this is going to be exciting, actually, because it's very rare when somebody beats us up, per se.
Yeah, well, it's definitely out there.
Okay.
And if I would have known about it earlier, I would have definitely brought it to the table. And if you want to, we could. It's not hard to find, and we could play through it. But
sure.
Yeah, 50 minutes of beating us up.
Wow. For who would ever thought that what I say carries any weight with anybody?
Well, and here's some other news that I bet you didn't know. Not only am I a fat guy, but so are you.
Really?
You are an obese douchebag.
Wow, I didn't realize.
And let's see, you're also a liar.
Really?
Because when you say you haven't heard something that Wheezy sent over, that's apparently a lie.
That's not true.
No, it is true because he said so.
Oh, okay.
I heard it.
All right.
I heard him say over and over when you said, that Wheezy did this or Wheezy did that, apparently that was a lie. And you had thrown it, you must have heard it ahead of time.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad somebody can get inside my head and know what's going on in there because, well, what can I say about that?
Yeah, but yeah, it was it's an hour-long trash fest, which is kind of fun. It's interesting when people don't know the show and they try to critique it like it's a serious show or something.
Okay.
That's always fun to me, just the criticism of this and that. And, let's see. Tim James, the thing in the McDonald's, not funny.
Really?
Not funny at all.
Yet everybody that I've run into who heard that is laughing their ass off.
Yeah. Our chat room, bunch of idiots that add nothing and are retards that's why they listen to us.
Okay.
Because that would be the caliber of listeners that we have is just retarded people.
Okay.
Most of the bands that we have on the show are shitty.
Okay.
Wow,
we're responsible for everything that's gone bad out there.
Yeah, I guess though when you were the bass player of big bands like Jet Boy and the Wild Hearts that talking to guys from Thin Lizzy or pick a band, Testament or Metallica or whatnot, those are shitty bands.
All right.
I don't know. There's all kinds of goodies in there.
Well, where did you get this blow-by-blow detail?
Oh, it's from the Rock and Roll Geek Show podcast. And you're stupid for not knowing the name of the show because you called it the Rock and Roll Metal Geek Show or something.
Okay.
So you're stupid for that too, but I take a hit for that as well, as
right.
one of the two obese fat douchebags.
All right. Well, that's exciting because in the 18 years that we've been doing this show, I don't think that we've ever had a real credible, attack.
Well, this is a long one. I don't know how credible it is, but
well,
it is
I mean, somebody who actually has any kind of following, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I guess he does.
Okay.
I guess so.
I don't know. I was throwing, here I threw the invite out to be a part of the show, and if that, almost treads into Rev territory, doesn't it?
It sort of does.
Huh.
And the tragic part, as I've said numerous times, I like the show.
Okay.
I had no issue with the Rock and Roll Geek show. I like it.
All right.
Personally, but okay. If we're gonna go that route, I'm certainly up for it.
Sure. Well, I don't know what to say. I'm either flattered, I'm honored that that anyone would spend that amount of time on critiquing what we do, like we critique others. So I'm excited about that.
Well, it is definitely there. I'll if you want it, I'll send it over.
Sure, send it over. I'll be glad to peruse it.
I'm sure we could give it a listen if you want to, if we don't have enough to do this week.
Sure.
Since you haven't heard it before, but you secretly have.
Oh, okay. Well, that's funny.
I know. I was like, wow, one of what's his name, Reseda Country Club threw it to me in the Facebook, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. So I went and listened. I was like, wow, they spent a lot of time on this.
Well, very good. Well, that just may make classic metal show history.
It might.
It just may.
It could. It could be the first one.
Sure. Well, that's
the second one after the Rev, and we all know how that ended.
Yeah.
That went well.
Well, as I said, not having heard the content or anything, just
liar.
Just in knowing what you've prepped me for, I'm rather flattered.
I think you listened and you just didn't want. I think you were ducking it.
Well, you're probably right about that.
You were hiding from it until now, and
Sure.
Now that it's been brought up, now you have to address it.
Right. Well, I'd be glad to.
All right. Well, I'll send it over here when we go to the break.
All right. Excellent. All right. Well, that's exciting news.
Well, there you go.
I didn't realize that such great talent and big stars such as Michael Butler was even paying attention to such a little, show like the Classic Metal Show.
Well, he has been in a lot of big bands.
Okay.
He was in Exodus for a minute and Jet Boy, American Heartbreak.
Well, this is about as exciting as getting called out by RH Metal and Dio Priest on their show.
Yeah. Yeah, and had as much impact since this was a couple of weeks ago and we just heard it now.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I was pretty devastated when RH Metal and Dio Priest went off on me, but now the bar has been raised.
Somehow you made it through?
I did, and I'm still here to talk about it.
I am surprised about that. Yeah, this originally aired on April the 30th.
Okay. So it has been almost 2 weeks.
So in 2 weeks, we got notification of it 3 hours ago, I guess.
Okay.
So there you go.
So basically that ranks right up there with Natalie's World.
Pretty much. It's impacting.
Okay. All 19 listeners are probably throwing darts at the CMS logo as we speak.
Probably. Well, I'm sure they have more than that. I mean, I listen. I'll keep saying I listen. I'm a fan.
Again, as I said before, I have no ill will or, bad feelings about it. And I even told you to throw the invite out there to be a part of the CMS radio network if you wanted to.
And I did.
So what can I do for you, Mr. Aiken? I just can't win.
Nope, it's because you're just a fat douchebag.
Well, I guess I'll be going on Weight Watchers tomorrow.
Yep, it's all. I could take it when they throw it at me. I was stunned when I heard that about you.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah.
At the most I've ever seen you is what, about 5 pounds that you could lose?
Pretty much.
That's like the most I've ever seen that you could lose was like 5 pounds.
Right. So I better drop down from the 34s to the 32s and get back in shape.
Better, man.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you brought that to the table.
All right. Well, I'll bring more of it to the table.
All right. Excellent. All right. Well, it's you did a takeover show per se last week.
I did.
With Bob Nalbandian and your friend John and Stephanie in my absence while I was traveling.
And you still let me come on this week, so I guess it went better than the first time with John.
Yeah, actually, I was amused by Mr. Nalbandian's input on some of the things. I was really surprised to hear about the Snake Man and his paparazzi gig.
Yeah, how about that, huh? The Snake Man is now a paparazzi.
Wow.
And tell me, that's like the most perfect job ever for that.
That
guy.
is. He is pretty much a he is a starstruck guy. So he's in the perfect position.
That is like it's like he was born for that job. I just wonder how he got the camera. He sold his dog for it or what?
Yeah, Sophie
sold the dead dog carcass for a camera.
Right. Well, he's probably sold some of his jewelry and was able to afford a camera.
Probably so.
Right. Well, that was interesting news as well. And, I'm looking forward to the documentary that Bob is working on of early L.A. metal scene.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
And just the fact that he was able to talk to Lars.
Yeah, that was big news, actually. That Lars was willing to do an L.A. metal documentary.
Right.
It was surprising, especially a low-budget one. I would get it if it was like HBO or something for Lars, but that was cool of him to actually do something, old school like that.
I agree. And also, I liked his story about Ronnie James Dio inviting him to his house to look at, a bunch of memorabilia and photos and tell stories and stuff.
Sure.
Way back when he was just a fledgling young, what do you want to call, reporter, fanzine operator, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, he said it was when he was 17 years old or something.
Yeah, so Bob's got a lot of good stories, and I'm looking forward to that documentary.
I am too. I can't wait to see it. And from what Bob says, it'll be out in a few months, and we will be advanced it, I'm sure, so that we can check it out early and talk about it. And Bob will be on here hawking it, so all good, man. I had a good time with Bob.
Well, the only way that I will allow Bob to come on the show and talk about it, is if it sucks.
Is that a rule?
Yeah, from now on, it's got to suck because that's basically what we do, from what I understand.
Well, Bob's a small player, so apparently he can be on.
Well, but the thing is, if it's any good, we can't have him on here.
That's true. So. I mean, Bob Nalbandian, he doesn't even rank next to Jet Boy.
Nice.
I can't imagine that Bob ever stomped down on the bricks.
Right.
Never.
Excellent. All right, dude. Well, sounds like we got a pretty good show here. I saw that you sent over a list of topics.
Yes, I did.
Which, by the way, I did read prior to the show.
Oh, really?
Yes, I read it prior to the show.
Liar! Oh, no, you're probably telling the truth on that.
Oh, right. But that is funny because, one of the rules that you and I like to operate by for the most part is that we don't like to preview anything. We like first impression.
Well, we're going to have to stop doing that, though. We're going to have to do serious prep. I would personally like for you to disconnect the phone and just get everybody to leave voicemails, and we can just talk to the voicemails.
Sure.
That clearly is the way to go.
Right.
Since that was defended.
Nice. Very good. Now, something that I did actually listen to.
Yeah.
Because, I can admit it when I do something. Wheezy did send over a new bumper.
And let me guess, you never heard it.
No, I did hear it. I said that's something I did listen to.
Well, I'm going to tell a lie here. I haven't heard it.
Yeah, you haven't. I bet you haven't.
No, I'm lying.
Oh, okay.
Because everything that goes on, we both pre-screen.
Okay. Well, that's the thing. We don't need to pre-screen anything because we're not censored.
Yeah, well, neither's he. Apparently, he drops all kinds of F-bombs on us in his new podcast.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
There's all kinds of those guys are fucking douchebags.
Are you just amping me up, getting ready to go for this, or what?
No, I mean, we could do it next week if you want. We could do it today. I'm just telling you. You're bringing up points that I'm just pointing to.
But every time you describe what you know about it, it just keeps getting better and better.
Oh, I listened to quite a bit of it. I didn't listen to all of it. I know I'm lying about that, but I didn't listen to all of it because the show started, but I listened to a good 40 minutes of it.
Really? Wow. Well, I have not heard it, so when we play it,
liar!
When we play it, be it tonight or next week, I will give you my initial take. But again, I'm very honored, and I feel like I've just won an Emmy.
And by initial take, you mean your pre-planned comments that you've worked on throughout the week.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm honored. I want to thank my good friend Chris Aiken. I want to thank God. I want to thank all the fans that voted for us, all the idiots in our chat room.
Got to thank Tim James for starting this war.
Tim James for being himself and calling in and just being a major fan and being very supportive of what we do here.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Tim. You cost me a podcast that I liked. Thanks a lot, Tim. Yet another reason for me not to like you.
Sure. So anyway, as I said, this is something I have listened to, and Wheezy sent this over. Since we're talking about interviews and stuff, he threw over a new bumper he made for simply the best interviewers.
Oh,
so let's
is that us?
Check. No, you'll check this out.
Okay.
You guys have been around for almost 30 years. What comes to mind? The album that you guys just released recently is your 9th album to date. Did you ever think that this day would come? Can you introduce yourself and tell me what you do in the band and how long has the band been around? Who produced this album and what was it like working with them? What was it like to perform on Jimmy Kimmel Live back in October, especially on Halloween? Did you all go trick-or-treating afterwards? Your band has been around for 18 long years. How does this make you feel? How long does it take you to get your hair in the way that you're known to have it?
Yngwie, your incredible playing style has been described, among other things, as neoclassical metal brilliance. Like we said, you have a latest album out, Spellbound, that Tony and I really are playing into submission. I think we need another copy of it, and we played it so much.
It is terrific.
Yngwie, obviously writing a book is different than playing guitar, but I wanted to ask you, how did you find writing the book? Did it come easy, hard? What was it like writing it?
I wanted to go way back. The first time I ever saw Cinderella play was on the David Lee Roth tour, which I believe started in 1986. Do you have any memories of that tour you could share with us, touring with David Lee Roth? Was he a nice guy? Was he a dick?
Amazing in quotes.
Cheers.
There you go.
Wow. I got to, and I hate to do this, but I didn't think, and God, you're gonna punch me in the face. I didn't think that Striggle's question was that bad.
Well, I didn't put the bumper together, so if Wheezy wants to recut it.
Did you think that was a bad question?
It wasn't a bad question, no.
I thought that was an okay question.
Well, to be honest with you, I heard it, and I think Wheezy actually fused two questions together there to make one good question.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I just know that one question didn't sound that horrible.
So thank you again, Wheezy. You are amazing at your craft. Amazing.
I love the Skid Row question, though. You've been around for 30 years. What comes to mind? And I know he didn't fuse that together.
No. How about this is your 9th album. Do you think this day would ever come?
What is wrong with her?
Anybody sit there and think, you know what? I cannot wait for the day we put out our 9th album. We're on our 2nd now, but when that 9th hits, gold.
Career is made.
There you go. So funny.
She's good.
She is good. She's simply the best.
Simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Right. All right. Well, dude, let's see. What do we got coming up here? Let me look at the old schedule.
I think we got Marco, don't we?
Marco comes in at 10 o'clock Eastern, which is, 15 minutes, 12 minutes from now?
10, 12 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. Well, it'll be exciting to speak to Marco. I met him years ago, back in 2003. He was with Whitesnake at the time. They were playing at the Allstate Arena with the Scorpions in Dokken. And
that's Scorpions, pal, not the Scorpions.
Oh yeah, Scorpion. Oh, no, let me do it like a real fan. The Scorps.
No the.
Just Scorps.
You're gonna have to go back and revisit the new Thrash Can.
It's
or not new. It was not new Thrash Can. Metalheads United.
Metalheads United.
That's the guy that. Remember, and he got all pissed off. It's not the Scorpions, even though the band calls it that. They're wrong. It's Scorpions.
Okay. Or Scorps.
Scorps.
Yeah. See, I want to throw the in there. I'm sorry. I guess I'm just not a fan.
Probably not.
Scorps, man.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I did meet Marco. Yeah, I need you to yell lie.
Liar!
You're right. I am lying about that. But one of the nicest musicians I've met in the business over the last 18, almost 20 years now.
Why do you keep telling these lies? He was a dick.
And actually, I was digging through some of the archive photos. I was going to throw the photo to you and maybe throw it up on the CMS Facebook, but I was not able to locate it right now. So, boo.
See, it's because you lied about meeting him.
You're right. It was a figment of my imagination.
That's right.
So, anyway, we're going to talk to Marco here in a little bit. He is part of the Black Star Riders, which is inspired by Thin Lizzy.
Yes.
And Mr. Aiken likes the CD. I have not heard the CD yet.
I like it. It's good.
Wait a minute. Where's the liar?
No. Well, you're right. I'm dropping the ball. Liar!
I have not heard the CD yet.
You are lying.
And I'm looking forward to maybe playing some of it tonight.
Liar!
Being that I just received it in the file on the server.
Lies.
Well,
for months.
Call it what you will.
Oh boy.
So now see, somebody just ruffled our feathers a little bit. Now we're gonna have to just whip this dead horse until it's
dead,
until it's even more dead.
Oh yeah, I have a feeling this isn't going to go well.
No, and again, like I said, I had no malice, no ill will, no bad thoughts or feelings, and here we are. We're already just going to tear this thing apart.
A message from the retard known as Angel of Death in the chat room. Neely sits on a throne of lies.
You're right. You are right. All right, well, since we got Mr. Mendoza coming up here in about, 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5-10 minutes, something like that.
I'm going to play a tune or two, and then we'll get Mr. Mendoza on the phone and talk to him.
Sounds good.
All right, well, until we get Marco on the phone.
Yes?
You're gonna say, you're really not going to talk to him.
Is that what you want me to say?
Yeah, it's like, you guys aren't going to talk to Marco.
Never. Till we get that fan on to pretend he's Marco.
Right. I thought I'd play something in tribute to our new friend.
Okay, what would that be? Jet Boy?
This would be Jet Boy.
Nice.
Stomp It Down on the Bricks.
Oh, good. A classic.
Or should I say, Stomp It on the Classic Metal Show.
That's right. Because this is another piece that you haven't heard yet. Badlands, crappy band. because we referenced Badlands as a good band.
Really?
To which he said Badlands sucks, but apparently Jet Boy doesn't.
Okay. I was not aware that Badlands sucked.
Badlands sucks. They're not a good band.
Really?
Yeah, apparently not.
I don't know. I don't know. That's funny. Well, now you really got me amped up for this. All right, well, here's Jet Boy with Stomp It Down on the Classic Metal Show.
Liar!